What's up, guys? Just back to my channel today. We're doing a review for um Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank and stuff, but it'll be a two-part video. So yeah, you see me. I was drinking something real quick, and yeah, it was good. So anyway, sorry I didn't get to do it last night. I was super tired. It was a long day and all night and stuff, but whatever. I'm not complaining about it and shit. So anyways, we go we can go ahead with the segment. Also, as you tell my voice, I woke up couple minutes ago and stuff. So yeah, I'm sorry if I feel like a little deep, my voice and stuff. So yeah, we have a little segment coming up with the little segment with Mr. talking about the AAA logo. So here we go. Mr. points to the AAA logo on the mat and then begins talking in Spanish about how the first Worlds Collide happened 31 years ago in 1994. He then says that he always thought that Lucha Bre would be only seen in Mexico, and he's proud to be part of the evolution as Mexico. Chanting aroused, he feels the entire world will now be able to see the one thing he fell in love with as a kid, Lucha Libre. I didn't say the first time, so yeah, Lucha Libre. So, anyways, before the match, we see Dom Mysterio and Liv Morgan sitting in the audience. Errol Star, this is the first match. Errol Star, Octagon Jr., and Mr. Iguana versus Dragon Lee, Cruz del Toro, and Lince Dorado. So, yeah, okay, anyways. So, this is the first match. Cruz del Toro and Octagon Jr. start things off, and they begin by shaking hands. Cruz with a waist lock, and Octagon with a wrist lock and hammer lock. Octagon rolls through the hammer lock. Cruz with a flying mirror, and they go to a test of strength. Octagon with a sunset flip for a near fall. Cruz with a side headlock and shoulder tackle. Cruz misses a leg drop, and Octagon with a jackknife cover. Octagon blocks an arm drag, and they go through a series of leg sweeps and covers. They go to a stalemate. Dorado and Iguana tag in. They lock up, and Dorado with a waist lock. Lince with the waist lock, takedown, and an arm drag and kick to the back of the head. Dorado offers his hand, and Iguana is confused and he wants to lick it. Lince with a kick and a chop. Iguana with a satellite arm drag. Iguana gets his pet and he stops. Dorado, Iguana with the slingshot arm drag. Iguana with slingshot arm drag on Dorado with arm drag. Iguana with leg sweep and a cover. Dorado pets Iguana. Arrow and Lee tag in. They shake hands and lock up. Lee with a side headlock. Lee with a shoulder tackle. Arrow with a waist lock and forearm. Arrow with the head scissors. But Lee with the cartwheel to land on his feet. Arrow lands on his feet. Arrow goes to the apron and he punches Lee. Lee kicks Arrow and Arrow kicks Lee from the apron and hits a twisting crossbody for a near fall. Lee with a super kick to Arrow and the corner. Lee is sent over the top rope to the floor. Iguana and Octagon with a head scissors to Lince and Cruz. Iguana and Octagon with a flip dives and Arrow with a suicide dive. Arrow goes up top and he goes for a splash, but Lee gets his knees up for a near fall. Cruz tags in and hits a back elbow and hits a quadrada. Dorado with a Spanish for a near fall. Arrow with punches. Dorado with back rake and a lung blower for a near fall. Lee tags in and he goes for a belly to back suplex, but Arrow lands on his feet with the knee and Arrow with drop kick. Cruz and Iguana tag in and they exchange forearms and chops. Cruz goes to the apron and Iguana hits the turnbuckles. Cruz with a drop kick to the knees and Maxwell and he rolls Iguana around the ring to disorient him, and he gets a near fall. Cruz goes for a suplex, and Iguana escapes. Iguana with the face plant off Cruz's shoulders. Iguana with a waist lock and a head scissors to Lee. Dorado goes down the Iguana and stomps on it. Dorado gives the Iguana a Spanish fly. Iguana with satellite head scissors takedown. Iguana whips Dorado. Cruz and Lee with his Iguana. Iguana tosses the Iguana around. And then Iguana gets his with a triple super kick. Sorry. Okay, anyways, it's put on the turnbuckles and Lee with a double stomp. Lee with the suicide dive. Dorado with the shooting star press but Arrow breaks up the cover. Octagon kicks Dorado, and they go to the turnbuckles. Dorado gets flipped off, but Dorado kicks Octagon. They go up top, and Dorado with a super run. Arrow with a springboard roll cutter to Dorado. Lee takes care of Arrow. Iguana with the headbutt. Cruz with the springboard dropkick to Iguana. Lee with the leaping head scissors to Iguana from the apron to the floor. Arrow with the springboard splash onto Lee. Cruz with a double jump, twisting senton Octagon, and Dorado exchange chops. Dorado misses a Spanish Octagon kicks Dorado on the turnbuckles. Octagon with a super fallaway slam for the 3 count. So winners are Octagon Jr., Mr. Iguana, and Arrow Star. Alright, after the match, Dominic Mysterio asks for the music to be cut. He says that while they are fans of Ray, he's a deadbeat, and he calls himself the true champ. Octagon Jr. meets him outside the ring, and they jaw at him, draw each other before Octagon drags him over the barricade inside the ring. They brawl as various people try to break them up. Dom grabs the mic and announces that later tonight at Money in the Bank he will put his title on the line against Octagon. Yeah, that was shocking. Alright, so second match. Alright, so anyway, so Leo with Tasman and all them are talking about their upcoming match later for you know, um, the Lucha Bray and all that stuff, Worlds Collide and all that stuff with the WWE and all that. So yeah. Anyway, so second match, Cedric back here and Lola Vice versus Chick Tormenta and Dali. Back here, I hope I said that right. The last one, back here and Dali start things off, and Dali's pushes back here to the mat. Back here with a roll up. Dali's with a gory special, and she gets a near fall. Back here with a sunset flip for a near fall. Back here sets for the Devil's Kiss, and Dali gets her on her shoulders and sends back here into the turnbuckles. Chick tags in, and they hit a elevate bulldog for a near fall. Chick with a clothesline. Back here with a suplex, and Lola tags in. Back here gets off the shoulders, and Lola with a drop toe hold, and back here with a tiger ant kick. Vice with a kick for a near fall. Chick with a disgust from forearm and a single leg drop into a single leg crab. Lola with a spin kick and a speedball kicks. Lola sets up for a hip shake. Shake hip strike in the corner. She hits a series on Chick, and Dalia's Vice gets a near fall on Dahlia. Lola with a cross arm breaker on, but Dalia's roll up for a near fall. Lola with the punch and knee. Lola with a punch with a Lola with the kick, and Chick grabs Lola, but Lola punches Chick off the apron. Dalia's drop kicks Lola to the floor, and Chick with the clothesline to Lola. I'm sorry guys, the way it was saying it on stuff, it was like mixed, like blend in the words and stuff. So anyways, Daddy's with a sit out gourd buster for a near fall. Daddy's with the Irish whip and a clothesline in the corner. Chick tags in and hits a power slam for a near fall. Chick stretches Lola and Chick with a knee and DT for a near fall. Chick with the Irish whip and an uppercut in the corner. Dallas tags in and she hits a drop kick to the back against the ropes. Dallas gets a near fall. Lola with the punch and Dallas with a slam. Dallas misses an elbow drop, but she stops Lola from making the tag. Dallas goes for a suplex, but Lola blocks it. Dallas with a knee. Lola with a boot to Dallas and an elbow to Chick. Dallas with a chop and Lola with the inside cradle for a near fall. Lola makes a tag and back here with a forearm to Dallas, followed by a springboard crossbody. Back here with eat the feet to Dallas. Back here sends Chick into the turnbuckles. Back here with a double knee strikes to both women. Back here with the dragon screw and rolls to Dallas for a near fall. Dallas with a chop and back here chops back here with a belly, the back suplex, and she sets for the Devil's Kiss. Lola does the same to Chick. Lola with a cannonball to Chick off the apron. Dallas with a torture rack, but back here counters with a roll up for a near fall. Back here with SVB for a 3 count. So winners are Stephanie back here and Lola Bias. Vera Rodriguez in the ring with Lola and Stephanie. Lola says she is happy to be able to present her culture. She puts over Stephanie. Stephanie asks if she is ready for Money in the Bank. She says she'll be Missy at Money in the Bank. Alright, Chad Gale backstage talked about he'll win that championship against Vikino tonight and stuff. So yeah. We see Charles Guerrero in the odds as well as the Street Profits. Alright, so third match, the Latanza versus El Hijo, the Dr. Wagner Jr., Pagano, and Psycho Clown. Alright, Santos kicks Clown's hand away before the match. Randy and Humberto start things out. They lock up, and Humberto with the clean break. Humberto kicks Randy, and he works on the wrist. Randy with a side headlock. Randy with a shoulder tackle, and head scissors to take down Randy with a arm drag into an arm bar. Angel tags in, and he punches Randy. Humberto with the leap frog splash, and Angel with the punch for near fall. Clown tags in, and he hits a crossbody clown with the pop up forearm and a power slam for a near fall. Clown with a kick, clown and with forearms. Angel with an Irish whip, but he misses a splash. Lone with a kick up to Umberto and Umberto with a waist lock on Umberto, and Clown with a double German suplex. Clown gets a near fall on Angel. Clown goes after Santos, but Santos goes to the floor. Clown with a suicide dive to Santos. Clown sends Umberto into Angel, and Pagano tags in and hits a missile drop kick. Pagano with a double flapjack. Angel with the kick. Angel with the chop, and Umberto is sent to the floor. Angel sends Pagano into the ropes, and he connects with the uppercut. Pagano clotheslines Angel over the top rope to the floor. Santos pulls Umberto out of the way, and Pagano hits the floor hard. Angel gets a near fall on Pagano. Angel with a back elbow, and Santos tags in. Umberto tags in, and Umberto holds Pagano against the ropes for a triple kick. Umberto gets a near fall. Humberto with a slam and hits a back roll into Musa for a near fall. Humberto chokes Pagano in the ropes, and Santos and Angel kick Pagano in the ropes. Santos tags in, and he kicks Pagano in the head. Santos with the snap mirror. Hold on. Santos with the double wrist lock, and Pagano with punches. Pagano with a blockbuster, and both men are down. Santos keeps Pagano from making the tag. Pagano kicks Santos, and Clown tags in and clotheslines Humberto and connects with a forearm, followed by a power slam. Angel is sent into the turnbuckles, and Clown with the northern lariat. Clown puts Angel in the tree of woe, followed by hesitation drop kick. Clown kicks Santos and hits the Corred on Humberto for a near fall. Santos and Wagner excuse me. Santos and Wagner tag in, and they exchange chops. Wagner with clothesline to Santos, followed by chops to Humberto and a dragon screw. Wagner with the dragon screw to Angel. Pagano with suicide dive to Angel. Wagner and Clown with dives as well. Everyone is back in the ring. They face off. Many punches and are thrown. Wagner with a kick to Santos and a knee in the corner. Wagner with a Falcon Arrow to Santos, but Angel makes a save. Humberto tags in, and he puts Wagner on the turnbuckles. Humberto chops Wagner, and Angel tags in. They hit a double press slam for the apron. Clown with the psycho driver on the apron. Angel with a side moonsault onto Wagner. Pagano with the crossbody onto Angel. Wagner kicks Santos off the apron, and he hits a cannonball off the ring sides for a near fall. Clown with a back heel kick and sit out powerbomb to Angel. Humberto with a kick to Clown, but Pagano with a code breaker to Humberto. Santos says something to Humberto, and he hits a crossbody on everyone. Wagner gets a near fall on on Santos. Wagner goes to the turnbuckles, but Santos kicks Wagner. Wagner with the forearms on the turnbuckles, and Santos with the headbutt. Santos with the super rana, and he gets a near fall. Santos hits for the Phantom Driver, but Wagner escapes, and he gets a near fall with the victory roll. Santos with the knee and Phantom Driver to Wagner for the 3 count. So winners are Leo Del Fantasma. Our Vecchino is in the bag, talking about his match with Chad Gable coming up later and stuff. Alright, so next match is a 4-way. So here we go. Ethan Page versus Javon Evans versus Laredo Kid versus Ray Phoenix. So the 4th match, we're almost finished with this, guys. Page is outnumbered at the start of the match. He tries to leave the ring, but Evans keeps him in. Phoenix and Evans with the kicks, and Laredo with a drop kick to send Page to the floor. Evans and Laredo go after Phoenix, and Laredo with the arm drag. Laredo with the head scissors to Phoenix with a kick to Page. Page moves with when Laredo goes for a dive. Phoenix kicks Laredo to the floor. Phoenix and Evans are in the ring. Phoenix tells Evans to hit him and teases the forearm, but goes for a roll up for a near fall. Then goes to chop. Then go and sorry. Then they go to chops. Evans with forearms and Evans with a slingshot arm drag. Phoenix with a chop and wrist lock as he goes to the ropes for a springboard wrist lock. Takedown Phoenix with the head scissors and Evans lands on his feet. Page pushes Phoenix into Evans and he kicks them both. Laredo with the head scissors to Page. Phoenix with the head scissors off the turnbuckles to Laredo. Page with the Rana to Laredo. Evans with slingshot head scissors to Page. Phoenix chops Evans after Evans sends Page to the floor. Phoenix swings in the ropes as a super hits a spider kick. Evans goes to the floor. Phoenix goes up top and Laredo stops him. Laredo kicks a Page away and Laredo with a moonsault onto Evans and Page Phoenix with a twisting pescado onto everyone on the floor. Phoenix with a DT to Page for a near fall. Phoenix sets for a muscle buster on Page, but Evans stops Phoenix. Evans punches Page while Conan responds to the table's chance. To the table's chance. Laurel kicks and punches Page. Page slams Laurel onto Evans and he hits a splash for a near fall. Page with a slam for a near fall on Evans. Phoenix misses a spider kick and Laurel with a forearm into the corner. Laredo with the Michigoku driver to Phoenix, followed by a springboard moonsault to Phoenix. Laredo with a forearm to Page. Laredo with a Spanish fly DT to Phoenix for a near fall. Laredo with a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker to Evans, and Laredo goes up top, and Evans chops him in the legs to crotch him. Laredo is in the tree of woe, and Evans with a German suplex to Page with Evans shake to Page. Evans shakes the ropes and hits a plancha, and they go over the announce table. Evans with the coast to coast somersault, somersault leg drop to Laurel. Evans with the rebound round kick to Phoenix. Evans with the springboard cutter to Phoenix, but Page makes a save. Evans grabs Page and punches him. Page sends the ropes into Evans' throat, and he throws Evans into turnbuckles, and Page and Phoenix are in the ring. Phoenix with a drop kick and he goes up top and hits a running kick. Laredo misses a splash, and Phoenix with the kick. Phoenix with a victory roll into a double stomp. Phoenix with a round kick and a back heel kick. Phoenix with the more kicks. Phoenix and with Emerald Frozen for a near fall. Phoenix with a round kick to Page, and then Phoenix kicks Page and Laredo Evans with the close line off the turnbuckles to Page. Evans is first to his feet and gets Laredo and chops him in the corner. Evans puts Laredo on the turnbuckles. Evans sets for Spanish Fly. Evans is knocked off the turnbuckles and he hits the steps. Phoenix escapes Eagle's edge and he kicks Page. Phoenix with a Spanish Fly to Laredo, and Page with Eagle's Edge to Phoenix, but Evans with a frog splash to break out the cover. Evans with a punch, and he hits a cutter off the turnbuckles on Laredo. Page sends Phoenix and Evans to the floor. Page with twisted grip to Laredo for a 3 count. Alright, so winner is Ethan Page. So yeah, still champion. Alright, so main event coming up: El Hijo del Vagino versus Chad Gable. They lock up and Chad with a wrist lock. Vagino with a reversal to an arm bar. Vagino blocks an attempt to reverse the hold. Chad with the drop to hold into an arm bar and wrist lock. Vagino with a single leg, and he applies an arm bar. Vagino with the rune, and Chad escapes. Chad with the La Maestro for a near fall. Vagino with the rolling arm drag. Chad Gable with the arm bar. Vagino with the back slide for a near fall. Chad goes for legs, but Vagino escapes. They go for a test strain, and Chad gets an early advantage, but Vagino bridges to get back to a level point. Chad flips Vagino over, but Vagino with the leg sweep for near fall. Vagino for near fall. Chad bridges and he blocks a cover. Chad with the body scissors and roll up for a near fall. Chad with a double wrist lock, but Vagino goes for a triangle. Chad counters into an ankle lock. Vagino escapes. Chad with a double thrust to Vagino and he punches Vagino. Chad with the belly in the back suplex for a near fall. Vagino catches Chad on a crossbody and Chad escapes an orange, but Vagino escapes a powerbomb. Chad hits a spring post shoulder first, but when Vagino goes to the apron, Vagino with a springboard dropkick. Chad tries to block an Irish whip, but he re-injures his shoulders. Vagino kicks Chad and hits a head scissors takedown. Vagino with the running double knee strike against the ropes, and Chad goes to the floor. Vagino with springboard 630 splash to Chad on the floor. Vagino gets a near fall. Vagino drop kicks Chad through the ropes. Vagino with a shooting star press off the apron, but Chad gets his knees up. Chad sends Vagino into the ring ropes. Chad sends Vagino into ring ropes again. Steps again. Chad goes for ring steps. Chad goes for a table and he sets it up on the floor. Chad goes for a German suplex through the table, but Vagino blocks it. Chad escapes a driver. Vagino with the kick and Chad with a clothesline. Chad gets a near fall on Chad with the Irish whip. He hits a monkey flip. Chad gets a near fall. Chad with an abdominal stretch. Vagino with the kick to escape. Chad with a double thrust to the throat, followed by a German suplex for a near fall. Chad drops Vagino onto the top rope, and Chad with the boot to the head. Chad gets a near fall. Chad with chops in the corner. Chad with the Irish whip, and Vagino puts him on the turnbuckles, and he chops Chad. Vagino misses a punch, and Chad with a forearm in the ropes. Chad goes up top, but Vagino counters with a code breaker, and both men are down. Vagino with chops and forearms. Chad tries to send Vagino to the floor, but Vagino rebounds off the ropes. Vagino with the kick, he puts Chad in the ropes. Vagino goes up top and hits a double stomp for a near fall. Chad sends Vagino on to the apron, and Vagino with the kick. Vagino goes to the ropes and hits a springboard twisting 450 splash for a near fall. Chad catches Vagino off the ropes, and when Chad with the Nigeria driver for a near fall, Chad goes up top and he misses moonsault, but he lands on his feet. Vagino with the boot and Chad with the palm strike. Chad with the power driver off the turnbuckles for a near fall. Vagino with the uppercut and forearm. Vagino puts Chad on the top rope and the springboard dropkick to send Chad to the apron. Vagino goes up top and hits a destroyer on the apron. Vagino gets a near fall. They go back to the floor and Vagino puts Chad on the table. Vagino goes up top, but Chad pushes Vagino off. Chad puts Vagino on the table. Chad hits a moonsault through the table. The referee starts his count. They both beat the 10 count. They exchange slaps. Vagino with forearms, but he misses a kick. Chad with the ankle lock. Vagino is pulled into the center of the ring, and Chad with the German suplex, but Vagino lands on his feet, and Vagino with a rolling kick. Vagino's leg gives out a bit, and he hits a poison rana on the top rope. Vagino the running double knee strike, and he goes up top and hits the 630 splash for a 3 count. So winner is El Hijo del Vagino. Alright, and he's still the champion and stuff. So anyways, that was a good show yesterday and stuff. I enjoyed it. It was very good and stuff. The whole show was good, and a lot of back and forth and stuff. So it was very good. I enjoyed it. So anyways, that was the first video. This is the first part of the video and stuff. So and I'll be continuing to Money in the Bank on stuff, right? So I see you guys in the next video. Alright, laters.